Good morning, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and they also read a page from a book of my choice. So, in today's video, I am going to be reviewing this book called Goosebumps Night of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine. It is volume number 7 in the Goosebumps series, but it is also the first book in the Night of the Living Dummy series. The cover is interesting because the Goosebumps title actually has little bumps on it, so you can actually feel the goosebumps, I suppose. And I was using this um, Monkey D. Luffy bookmark while I was reading this book. So it has about 130 pages, and I rated it 2 out of 5 stars. So I wouldn't say that this is particularly entertaining because I remember these being much better. When I was younger, I used to read a lot of Goosebumps, and I remember them being much more fun, and they were actually scary, but I suppose that isn't the case anymore. This one in particular didn't frighten me one bit, and unfortunately, I didn't get Goosebumps either during no part of reading this book. This one isn't even about Slappy, which was quite a disappointment, to be honest, but it was about another dummy called Mr. Wood, which is a very funny name, may come across as creepy, depending on the context you read it in. But I must say that Chris deserved everything that happened to her to ruin her life. When one has no shred of originality or creativity and tries to make everything a competition, in this case with her twin sister, Lindy, success is far from guaranteed, and that is why Chris is my least favorite character in this entire book, I suppose. Um, Mr. Wood is also a very annoying character, but in my opinion, Chris is even more so annoying. I really wish that they'd just grabbed the dummy by the legs and smashed his head in against the floor, because we saw how Chris did that when she was agitated, and it kind of worked to some degree, but they didn't think of doing that anymore. And they're very illogical, but then again, they are just children after all. Um, a fine dummy like Slappy now has to be possessed by what I think is the same spirit that was inhabiting Mr. Wood prior to the dummy getting crushed by a steamroller. So Slappy is really a very fine dummy. He wasn't possessed during this book, and I believe it was Chris who uttered the magic words, so which brought Mr. Wood to life, and then she had to ruin Slappy for Lindy as well. I think of this as a quite boring book, but I am, of course, not the target audience, and I'm sure that a younger audience would have found this more interesting. I have no hate against R.L. Stine or the Goosebumps books. In fact, when I was younger, they were some of my favorite reads, and I also really enjoyed the Jack Black movie. Um, but in this case, from what I've read and my experience with reading, the characters are not written very well. They don't seem to have much of a personality, and the story just goes about in circles, if I have to be honest, and there really isn't much to make it interesting. There are several loose ends, however, the open ending itself, regarding Slappy coming back to life, makes a good cliffhanger, and regardless, I don't think that I'll be reading the second volume in the series anytime soon. And it's a shame because I really love Slappy, to be honest. I have fond memories of reading all about him when I was younger. And I was actually scared of reading these books when I was younger. I used to get goosebumps and not be able to sleep well, believe it or not. But now that just isn't the case anymore. I've moved on, and it's pretty funny how Stein tries to diss Stephen King in this one. There is a page which I discussed during one of my live streams where Stephen King is actually mentioned, and Stein says how the mother figure in this book was reading a Stephen King novel and she fell asleep either because he tried to put it in a context where either it's because Stephen King is boring or because she was extremely tired and scared by the book. Not sure if it was a compliment or a diss, but it certainly read more like a diss, like a bit of a grab at Stephen King being a bad author, which isn't the case. But that is how he is meant to garner more attention as an author, I suppose. Anyway, that's all I had to say about R.L. Stine's Night of the Living Dummy, the first volume. If you enjoyed this video review, make sure to subscribe, comment, share, do anything to support my channel because we are very close to reaching 2,000 subscribers and it's my birthday in a week and I want to get 10,000 subscribers by then. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.